Welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play. To recap what happened up to this point when I was just running around doing quests until I actually want to get back to the main quest line, I actually began to work on the Devil of caroc quest line. She, so far, through the talks, told me of Farm Key, and I tracked him down. You didn't hear what she said earlier, but I didn't know I would found him in this area. Anyway, conversation. It's him, Farm Key. I remember that weak chin and those knobby knees. She stops, staring motionless at the figure among the trees. You best get a handle on her, John. Yeah, I will.
How goes?
The elven man emerged into the clearing and freezes, staring at the devil prop. For an elf, he is tall and rangy, with a weather-beaten face beneath stringy, greasy hair. The other with him turned glaring and grasping at the bronze golem.
Caroc Shadow, what's that wicked thing doing here?
She's my ally.
It's a killer! Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work.
Okay, let's talk this out.
We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
You look at the devil with a mixture of terror and loathing. Enough. What do you see, John? Is this the man who torched us? The devil sways on her feet, her whole body moving around the axis of her ankle. Though she's talking to you, her attention is concentrating. Spear of vision is focused on her key. Let's read his soul. I will just read this silently to myself. If you're just wondering what my mouse cursor is doing, I'm just reading over the parts that I'm reading to myself. Spit it out, John. What did you see? I have an option of two things. Well, he was part of the crowd, so he have to be punished for being the crowd that burned down the house. She sails at home key. You hear only a running mechanical info, but harmony plateau.
What did you say?
What did it feel like? The torch in your hand, the blade you carried. What did you feel like? A wild, inhumane scream echoes out of the bizarre machinery. At first road, it drops Harmony and her companion to her knees, where they cry out in terror. Gears squeal and clank as she rushes at them. Let it be kind and in the misery.
These are in for two.
I'm sort of amazed that my party is not interrupting. Okay, Devil, let's talk.
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
She stares ahead of you, as you approach, the ink black marbles of her eye fixed on some distant point. Her eyelids swelled and swirled in swirls of contemplation.
All that fretting and wondering. And the deed's over in less time than it takes to tell.
I hope Harmony deaths have brought you peace.
Peace. Now there's a funny word for it. I killed a lot of folk in my time. Felt their blood slick in my hands. Smelled their flesh as it burned.
She holds her hand in front of herself as they twitch and spasm.
And I always used to imagine what it would be like to have Harmka under my knife, feeling his breath come hot and fast, smelling the fear ooze out of him.
I better say nothing.
Couldn't feel a thing. His fading pulse weren't no more than a powder of rain to me.
Trust me, he's definitely dead.
I know, but I wanted to feel it, you understand?
She reached toward you with a sudden desperate intensity.
This body, it weren't made for feeling. Gouging my fingers into Harmka's wasting flesh, his screams just buzzing in my skull.
Yes, that is the issue. A construct body like yours is not meant for feeling, unlike a humanoid body is. So I get that feeling. She flexes and unflexes her fingers in a few lightning quick motions.
All it did was remind me
Of what?
that this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison. But no, because in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soften within. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue.
She turns her arm in front of her, examining the scrollwork on the back of her hand with horror and wonder. Your body have unique strengths and advantages too.
I'd trade them all if I could feel the snow cold around my ankles.
I have a feeling this is going to be a quest.
I still dream on folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me. Thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out from me.
I'm sorry you have to go through that.
It's not pity I want, it's a choice.
She draws back from you.
I dreamed too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another Cold War if he'd spared me his fate.
She rubbed her hands together, tracing her even joints with her fingertips. What happened exactly?
It was after I got caught and stopped. They'd locked me in a little house by me and his cronies.
Her head dipped as she remembers.
When a crowd of them came for me in the dark at night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long.
She hesitates.
Only they didn't march me to their gallows. They sent me to another house in Vegetarian real sneaky like. That's where I met Galvino.
He the one who transferred your soul? Wait. What was he doing there?
He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up and it was cold enough to see a thread. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head.
Now that sounds like a person of his personality.
By that time, the nurse goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time, barking orders at that lot.
I see where this is going.
So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it.
So it must have been the current corpse you have then. Body. Her black eyes are fixed on some indefinable point. Her instinct.
It's this metal suit strapped into the machine, just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
Did you know what they intended?
I had this terrible cold feeling in my gut, but I still couldn't figure.
She shake her head.
I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look. But they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen.
Her eyes flicker, rolling and scrapping behind her face.
Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle.
I can see where this is going. This is probably a scene from the book Frankenstein, maybe.
And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body.
Her limbs twitch inside her. She paused, waiting for her body to fall still.
By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
I heard the old man cackling and chattering when I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes. I tried to scream, tried to swing at him.
I think that was when I knew.
How could anyone put another person through something so terrible?
I reckon I'm the wrong person for that sort of question. But if it cools your conscience, Galvino didn't get off easy.
Ah, that's good.
The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the army of aliens strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting.
Yeah, he should be lucky he got away with his life.
The old mare fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Now that we dealt with Humkey, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
Well, that's a compliment. She said it in a offhanded, teasing fashion, but she looks away from you, fidgeting with a ribbit.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it. Even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart.
Maybe in part 2 or future updates, there was a quest to get her back into a mortal body. That would be a fun quest.
Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
You're acting unusually coy. She's quite fixated on her squeaking joints.
Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need.
She takes a list on her clicking finger.
Those villagers thought it'd fix up their broke down town. Until you gave them bigger worries.
I did?
Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson. And all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
They're all fools. An abandoned fortress won't solve anyone's problems. Her words die in her throat while a sound like a creaking door.
You're right. Let's go.
Yes.
What happened? Oh. Let us save this, and I will continue on in the next episode when something actually interesting that happens before I get to the main plot line. I hope you enjoyed this episode.